Working Interferences is intended for mature audiences. Since the hosts never grew up, someone needs to be the adult. Welcome to Working Interferences with Josh and Lance, the dental advice podcast for the average dentist. Here is Josh and Lance.
Raz, what is up? Welcome to the Working Interferences podcast, a dental advice show. I'm Joshua Austin.
I am Lance Timmerman.
Lance, I am coming to you straight from the middle of webinar hell.
Really now?
Yeah.
Whose idea was that? Did you sign up for this or did you get recruited?
It's always it's always I'm never pitching, hey, let me do a webinar for you.
Okay.
That's never it. It's always people asking me to do them, which is fine. But it's just there's a lot kind of piling up. I've got one tonight's Wednesday. We'll release this, I guess, late tonight, early tomorrow morning. The webinar, I'm doing a webinar tomorrow, Thursday, for Sprint Ray about 3D printing, which will be interesting because it's like the most basic shit of all time. It's the most basic webinar ever.
But you stay in your lane.
Well,
You're
that's
a basic bitch, right?
I'm so basic. Like our good friend Augusti Oliveira did a webinar for them last week on like printing provisionals and shit like that.
Okay.
Our other good friend Baron Gruder, who I'm now calling Captain America because he's just Captain America. Like he's sweet and loving and he's ripped and his personality is just Captain America. It just is. It's just him.
If the shoe fits.
Right. He's like printing Gothic arch tracing devices and, like parts for his special need daughter's, medical equipment that he designs in Mesh Mixer and stuff like that. And it's just like, I think there's a lot of dentists who could benefit from 3D printing, but they look at what those guys are doing, printing hybrids, doing these big full ortho cases, all that kind of stuff. And it's overwhelming and it's daunting. And the average dentist just looks at it and is like, holy shit. Whereas like that's not necessarily like I'm sure like that's you can I'm sure turn profits on your printer by doing that, but also like you could turn like the way you turn a profit on your printer is by night guards and bleaching trays. Like that's kind of it. So
right,
it's super basic stuff, and so I'm sure that a lot of people will be disappointed when they tune into this thing. But it just is like to me that's just like. Let's keep it simple. Like you don't have to be August or Captain America, Baron Gruder to be able to 3D print. You can do basic stuff. So as long as you have a scanner, then that's really all you need.
Yeah, I mean, I keep dabbling with the thought that I should invest in a printer, and I still just haven't done it yet.
Yeah, to me it like depends on how much you want to tinker. Like for me, it's. My lane is bleaching trays and night guards, and the reason like that's become the easy, quick and easy way to do it is because we scan every new patient, and so when you scan every new patient, like it's so easy when you already have the scan to just like, oh, you're interested in bleaching, like cool, like we don't have to take any impressions. I can just print these models, have your bleaching trays for you tomorrow. That's it. Like when they don't have to come back, when they don't have to. You don't have to turn the room over and try to get impressions or something like that. When you don't have to do all those things, like it just makes it easy for patients to say, yes, same thing with night guards. Like I sell a shit ton of bleaching trays and a shit ton of night guards because we've already scanned the patient and it's quick and easy and they don't have to do anything. They just come back to get it. They don't have to, there's not an impression appointment or another scan visit or anything like that. It is literally just print and go. And so that's kind of
that makes sense.
Yeah. So, that's sort of the Sprint Ray gig that I'm doing.
And when did you get recruited for that? Was that something they sprung on you yesterday?
No. Like this was.
You've had time to prepare, but still haven't.
No, it's done. Like my keynote's done.
Okay.
I'm doing one next week for Vista Apex, which is not done, but I've got the bones of it. I've got all the. It's basically just a case presentation where I used digital. Direct and indirect all in the same patient, and it's sort of like kind of like it's like sort of puzzle pieces kind of fit together kind of case.
Okay.
And then so that'll be fun. That one's called. I'm calling that one the combo platter. The people at Sprint Ray named the webinar that I'm doing, and they named it "Delivering Patient Delight," which I found to be funny. The first thing that they named it, they said "Deliver." They I swear to God, this is not a joke. They came back and they said, "All right, we're going to call this thing Delivering Wow." And I was like, yeah, no, we're not. We're not calling it that.
No fucking way.
That is not what we're calling it. And I pitched like creating everyday wins with 3D printing, and they didn't like that. They liked delivering patient delight. So now it sounds just like I'm, like I'm fucking patients or something.
Who isn't?
There used to be. I don't know if there still is. Is there a podcast, the Passionate Dentist? Is that still a?
I think so.
It used to be. I don't know if it's still on. That always made me think, like, is this just dentists who like to fuck? Is that what this podcast is? Is that what this is about? It's like dentists go on and talk about their different kinks. Like, today we have Joe Isher on from Toledo, Ohio, and he's going to talk to us about how he's super into feet. Like that would be a good podcast. Just dentists going into their weird kinks. Get Alan on talking about side boob.
My daughter was telling me. My daughter was telling me that she had a friend that paid for her senior year in college by taking pictures of her feet.
Hell yeah, bro! I would do
selling
that.
Them.
Yeah,
I'm like, fuck yeah.
Can you do it? Like
a size 13?
Yeah,
sure.
Get going. Get going. And then I've got. I'm doing the launch webinar. Itero just launched a new scanner, which I've had for a couple months now, sort of beta testing, and I'm doing the launch webinar for that one. And then like the next week, Chicago Midwinter virtual webinar, and then like a big Invisalign Itero group out of LA doing a webinar for. So it's like 5 over the next 3 weeks.
Wow. Yeah. You're going to be, the big question, are you going to wear pants?
Probably. Well, tomorrow it's going to be cold. It's supposed to be, it's getting cold here tonight. So I'll probably have on sweatpants. I might do the gray sweatpants thing, like the John Hamm gray sweatpants thing.
Is it cold to you? Like it's 55?
Well, like it'll be in the 40s. So yeah, like cold to me. But this weekend it's supposed to be like in the 20s here. So that'll be like real cold, like real life cold. But tomorrow night it'll just be like Texas cold.
Yeah, they're predicting snow for us tomorrow.
Nice.
So we probably won't get it because
they predicted it.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad.
I'm sure you'll have all of your team call in sick and all your patients not show up.
Of course.
Or call in because they can't get in.
For sure.
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
We did.
Pretty boring game, to be honest.
More or less. Once it got
like
to a certain point.
Like after halftime, there was not much going on.
Not much happened.
It's one of those, like, I don't feel sorry that the Chiefs lost. Because they won the Super Bowl last year and they have Pat Mahomes for the next 10 fucking years. So they'll at least be in contention every year unless he gets hurt.
Right.
And it's hard to feel happy for Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans because there's no such thing as a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. Like, no one is like a ride or die Bucs fan. Like, it doesn't exist. Like, I don't know anybody in the world who's a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan that's like a tried and true. There's a bunch of people rooting for them because they were Tom Brady fans or they were Patriot fans or something. But no one is like, oh, like I've been riding since Doug Williams in the creamsicle uniforms. Like that does not exist. And so it's this weird sort of like super passionate fan base in Kansas City that won a Super Bowl last year. So it's like, yeah, fuck them. Like they've got a few years. And then this team that has no fan base and nobody gives a shit about other than Tom Brady's there. Yeah,
that's a good sum up. You're not wrong.
I'm rather unimpressed with the halftime.
Of course.
This is what happens when you get a guy who has one fucking song. Unless he's just going to play that one song over and over and over. That wasn't great.
When you have people having to explain the symbolism that's going on, because I thought they had jock straps on their face, and someone was explaining
there's no symbolism. It's just the fucking Super Bowl halftime show. Like it is what. Like who gives a shit?
Yeah, don't give me a message. Just dance monkey.
Right. Just can Tom Petty come back? Like I don't like or Bruce Springsteen. Like what can There'll be somebody who has more than one song do something here. That would be great.
Right. Yeah.
Commercials, nothing wowed me.
Yeah, I was unimpressed.
So it's just unimpressive all the way around, really.
Yeah. I played golf on my phone during most of the game, so.
There's not much else that can be said about Brady. It's just pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, he set a new standard that I don't think anybody's.
No one's ever going to get to 7 again. I just don't think. When you look at he has won more Super Bowls than every other franchise.
Yeah.
In the history of the Super Bowl, it's just unreal. He's played in more than 20% of the Super Bowls, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's just wild.
It's such a team sport. You can have a superstar. I mean, an awesome Mahomes. Unless they surround him with a team, it's not going to matter.
Well, that's the thing is he had the ability to pick where he wanted to go, and he looked at this roster, and credit to him, because I wouldn't have thought that this roster was that good. But he looked at this roster and said, hey, this is a great roster. This team has a good defense, and there's offensive weapons, and they're not hamstrung by shitty draft picks and things like that. This is a place to go. And he sort of obviously cinched it all together. But, it's when you can pick where you want to go and you're not responsible, you're not beholden to that team to build around you for years and years. You can pick a place to go that has a good chance to win, and then somebody like him who has all the intangibles off the field and in the locker room can kind of do the rest of it, do the culture stuff and all that, and make it happen. He's unbelievable. It's sort of weird. No one really knows anything about him. It's just he's a strange guy, strange life, the weird TB12 stuff, all the weird vegan, weird water stuff, the weird supermodel wife, He's just, he's not like Kobe, where we had a lot of insight into Kobe. We knew what made Kobe tick. You knew a lot about Kobe, including, all the flaws and all that kind of stuff, and all the stuff that set him apart from everybody else, work ethic wise. It's like that. We don't really know anything like that about Tom Brady. Other than, he's a fanatic about his diet and his workouts and stuff like that. But that's kind of it. And it's just because he sells stuff, he sells supplements or whatever, but that's really it. You don't know what really makes him tick. He's almost robotic. It's almost A-Rod-esque. You know what I mean?
Sure.
About just too perfect. It's just everything is
wrote a script and is just following it to the T.
Yeah, you don't have the cell phone footage of Tom Brady screaming at a waitress, at an Applebee's, somewhere in Worcester because she forgot to put his ranch dressing on the side or what, there's none of that. There's none of the sort of flaws and warts and things like that I think honestly people like. And so it's just weird. I don't know. He's just a weird machine.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Did you ever see there was a movie it was a series on Netflix with Paul Rudd where he cloned himself?
Andrea watched that. She was really into that show.
Okay. There was a scene, the opening, I think the first episode, Tom Brady walks out and he's kind of winks this was a secret to everything, he was a clone.
Okay.
So nice. It was pretty funny.
All right. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he did that. It just doesn't seem like something he I can't fit it in. I'm having, I'm having some sort of vegan eye cream applied for 3 hours during the day and I can't go to the filming.
Well, his role was 2 lines in about 3 minutes.
Okay.
It was
well, you can't interfere with the vegan eye cream routine. So.
That's right.
Lance,
extra avocado.
That's right. Lance, this is an advice show.
Sometimes.
We answer your questions. We answer questions we find in all those neat little digital Facebook groups. We answer questions from Reddit. We strive to help dentists and dental team members with our own unique brand of advice. So please, we need your questions. They're the sustenance we crave. You can submit your questions to workinginterferences@gmail.com. No, we don't want just any question, do we, Lance?
Fuck no.
We don't want a bunch of boring questions like what's the best Super Bowl ever? Because we all know that Super Bowl 28 is the greatest Super Bowl of all time. Do you remember Super Bowl 28?
No.
It was the first Cowboys and Bills Super Bowl.
Oh,
where like the one in Pasadena that had like the Leon Lett play and stuff like that.
Oh,
it was a
one,
big
yeah.
blowout. It's my favorite Super Bowl of all time.
Okay.
That one, and then Super Bowl 32, which was Denver and Green Bay, the John Elway like helicopter play.
That was cool.
That's a great Super Bowl. Yeah, but 28
like that
still
one.
is kind of my favorite one of all time. It was at the
All right.
Rose Bowl, Cowboys. It was great. It was great.
Nice.
What Super Bowl do you think is Gordon's favorite Super Bowl?
It's got to be -3.
Super Bowl 1. It's like Chiefs and it's Gordon Christensen is Bart Starr's older brother, something like that, something crazy.
Yeah.
Question 1. It's not really a question, but it's from listener Madison. You can find her on Instagram at Gambizzy. Here is a girl selling mail-in glue-on braces. Her account is private, so now the replies from Twitter give all the deets. There are comparisons made between hairdressers that aren't licensed and this girl doing braces without a license, as it's basically the same thing to them. So let's walk the people through this. I sent this to you earlier, and you just said, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
So it started with a screen grab of a Instagram account that's Braced by Ariana. And it's I looked for it, and I can't even find that account anymore. So this account has been taken down, but I'm going to check it again. Yeah, no results found. It's an Instagram account. It's got 2,500 followers, and it says no deposit, no service. That's the only thing it says in the details. But basically, this woman will send you brackets and an arch wire and adhesive, and you apply the bracket yourself and basically do your own braces.
Now, is it an indirect bonding thing? Like there's a tray?
I don't think it's that technologically innovative. I don't think we're using Sprint Ray to print an indirect bonding tray, which is a certified workflow in the Sprint Ray printer.
So this person's just giving you she got her hands on a supply of brackets and wires and just like, here.
So here's
how much she's charging.
Yeah, so here's the cost. There was an Instagram post of the cost breakdown. Full set, $225. Top, $125. Bottom, $125. Removal, $100. $85 for tightening and color change. $10 for each broken bracket.
Well, wait, what's a tightening and color change? I mean, aren't you doing it all yourself?
So I guess you have the option of having her come to you, or her sending him to you.
Huh.
So there was a screen grab of a instant message that got sent to this person, Braces by Ariana, where the person sending the message asks, "How do we put them on, though?" And Ariana says, "It comes with adhesive glue, so you just put a little dot on each bracket and then place them on your teeth as straight as possible and hold for at least 30 seconds. Then they're on. Rinse your mouth out so you won't have that nasty taste in your mouth afterwards." After WORDS, words, afterwards.
I'm looking at the placement of some of these, and they're certainly not going to change. It's
So since that account was gone, I just went looking today to see if I could find other accounts that kind of do the same thing, and I found a shit ton of accounts.
Really?
Yeah. So one of them is Braces by Bree, BREE.
Huh.
It says customize your smile, EFDA certified, DM to make an appointment, Cash App and Venmo. I travel, only the U.S. All deposits are refundable if you cancel your appointment. She also does whitening, FYI. But I mean, it's brackets with an arch wire and elastics, or I don't know. What do you call the little rubber? It's not elastics. What do you call the
Blue tie?
Yeah, but the color rubber band versions, whatever those are.
Yeah.
There's another account that I found. I mean, this is just like in just spending 30 seconds of searching. Braces by Kiki. She's located in Detroit. If any of our Detroit listeners are interested, Alan, get on it. Cash and Cash App. DM me to book appointment. No refunds. $10 deposit required. $, it's Kiera is her Cash App, I guess. And so, yeah, she's got cross bites going. She's got like ectopically erupted canines going.
Well, it's like that old sign where you see barber and it says $5 haircuts, and then guy right next door, we fix $5 haircuts. Yeah. I'm loving this. This means great. You'll come to me and I'll get to charge you double to fix it.
So I was thinking about this. So I don't know about Oregon, where you went to school. I don't know what your ortho program is like, but
we learned how to refer.
Yeah, that's pretty much what mine was. I've been a dentist for 15 fucking years, dude.
In a row?
More, I think.
Oh, all right.
If you came into my office and held a gun to my head and said, you need to place brackets and an arch wire on a patient and put these whatever bands on, I don't think I could fucking do it, Lance. I don't think I could bond a patient.
Not well.
No. I have no clue where to fucking start. Like, it's never anything that I've done. Now, I'm sure these people like may have been ortho assistants or something at some point, and so that's whatever. I'm a dentist and I couldn't do this. How are people trusting just some broad named Kiki?
Yeah. See, I'll do the 6 month smiles version, indirect bonding, get the tray. That it's done for me to make sure it's in the middle, where it should be, at the right angle, and all that kind of stuff. But and I always hate it when I broke a bracket and I got to put one on. I'm eyeballing it and hope it's good enough. But yeah, there's no way in hell I would want this. I mean, DIY braces, DIY colonoscopy, DIY appendix removal. There's certain things you just don't want DIY.
So I'm looking at some of these cases, and she never shows like before and afters next to each other, but she has like power chains on these people. I'm guessing that they're changing arch wires, right? I mean, isn't that how ortho works? Like you just progress through an arch wire progression,
more or less,
right?
Yeah, 014 to 018, yeah.
Matthew Standridge is probably listening to this like fucking. I know. He's dying. He's just dying inside. That's how little I know about orthodontics. And so, as me, like someone who's a dental professional who knows just literally, I'm a literal orthodontic dipshit. Like, I can do some real basic clear aligner shit, and that is all. To think that somebody with no education can do this. Here's braces by K, Atlanta, Georgia, EFDA certified, non-refundable, deposit required, no extra people. It says that on her profile. No extra people. I want to put that on my fucking profile right there. No extra people. No weekends, mobile, cash only. And she does have online scheduling though, just FYI. That's braces by K. There's a lot of fucking dentists that don't have online scheduling. But this broad,
and yet
who's fucking driving to you doing ortho out of her car, is doing it. I mean, the funny thing is all of the pictures are just people with brackets on. It's never like a before or after.
Right.
So it's just like, if that's your goal is to just have brackets, cool.
Well, it kind of looks like one of the cases I zoomed in. The teeth, the brackets are all straight, and the wire has no tension, but the teeth are crooked. So I don't know that there's going to be much movement there.
Yeah. I just don't know what. When I look at real orthodontists' web pages and Instagram, it's always befores and afters.
Yeah.
And none of these do that. So this would just be like, if you or I were to show just a single solitary picture of us prepping a tooth, not the before or the after,
right?
Just us prepping it, and that's it. And be like, hey, like, don't you want to get your teeth prepped? So,
I mean, I can see this for Halloween.
Is this just jewelry?
Yeah.
At what point are braces just tooth jewelry?
I think this is the point.
This is it?
This is it.
Yeah, there's not a finish case on here. There's not a single finish case. I did hop on Etsy. You're familiar with Etsy, yeah?
Yeah, I have not done anything with it, but my family's bought stuff and it showed up at the place. So yeah.
So if you search for braces on Etsy, you can find it says fake orthodontic braces. And let me find the description.
I can't tell. This one looks like they got the brackets and then the power chain, but no wire.
I know this is a long description, but please read this in its entirety before making your purchase or sending me a question. Thank you for your purchase. I appreciate every single one of you. The braces are prepared on a sterile surface. I wear latex-free gloves. They are made from genuine orthodontic materials. I use standard Roth brackets with hooks on 345, stainless steel arch wires 017 by 025, plastic ligatures, colored bands. So I guess that's what we're calling those. I'm glad the chick on Etsy knows, and I don't. A dentist for over 15 years. I do not provide a way for you to attach them to your own teeth. I am making braces. I am just making the braces for now. Yes, the brackets are already attached to the wire. You pick the colors. I'm currently not offering a rainbow version at this time. I am sorry. Why not? Why aren't you offering a rainbow?
That's a deal breaker right there.
If enough people have asked you about it that you put that you're not selling it in your description, you should fucking sell it. You select the colors of the ligatures from clear to black and everything in between, except a rainbow, obviously. If you name it, I probably have that color. You may select up to 2 colors. If you want a 2-color combination, let me know what you want. Be specific in your message. Thank you. If there's a color you want that I don't have listed, just ask. I might have the exact color you want. Yes, I read and respond to every message, usually within 48 hours, but I will not respond to any question that can be answered in this description or in the frequently asked questions section. Here's what you'll receive in the mail. Discreet packaging. No logo, no mention of braces on the package for your privacy. No one would ever want to know that you were getting braces in the mail.
Okay.
The braces are sealed in plastic bags labeled upper and lower inside a sealed jewelry box. 1 upper wire with 10 brackets attached. 1 lower wire with 10 brackets attached. Extra plastic ligatures. 2 alcohol wipes for sanitizing. By purchasing this product, you're accepting full responsibility for any damage that may be caused. Be smart, be safe, and have fun. Must be 18 plus to purchase. I do not accept returns. Enjoy. How exactly are you supposed to put that? Like, what is that supposed to... How are you supposed to get that to stick to your teeth? Even for like a costume. Even if you're like, oh, I just want to be Kimmy Gibbler for Halloween. I
mean, do they just super glue? Do the best you can?
That's when you don't send them anything. That's what's going to happen, and you're going to get someone in your office that's going to need to be debonded,
or
with
that
the fucking gorilla glue.
Like that girl that did her hair.
She deserves everything she got. If you put gorilla glue on your teeth, you deserve everything you got. So this is a thing that's out there. What's sad is that they're better, they have no education. They're better orthodontists than I am. I have to do clear aligners because I don't know how to put brackets on. And it's demeaning to me. It makes me feel like a terrible, 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 terrible clinician. That I couldn't bond a patient if I had to.
I bet you could.
I don't.
It just wouldn't look pretty.
No. How do you get how do you put the brackets on and then get the wire into the channel of the brackets? You got to bend the wire, right?
No, that the wire is already preformed. It's nickel titanium, so it will rebound.
Yeah, but people have like rotations and shit, right? Isn't that like
it'll rotate?
Oh, fuck, man.
No.
This is how little I know about orthodontics. Again,
no wire bending.
Standridge is like just screaming at his speakers right now.
Yep.
Don't do this. This is a tough look.
But
if you're an orthodontist in Detroit or Atlanta, hey, I might have a lead on an assistant for you.
Yeah. Good luck.
Question 2. Reddit user Local Helicopter 7 asks, going to the dentist when business is bad? My dentist seemed really stretched when I was in last week. obviously it's been a really rough year, both because of COVID and other things in our area, and things are really slow, and she had a lot of openings. On the one hand, she seems trustworthy and competent, but on the other, I think I ended up with some unnecessary dental work last time I went to a dentist in that position, and integrity sometimes gets stretched when business is rough. Considering finding someplace that's busy and not struggling in numerous different ways, but I don't know. Thoughts from dental professionals.
So why did they seem really stretched? What was just the fact that the place was quiet? There wasn't
maybe
noise?
Maybe the word that he meant to use was stressed.
Okay.
Stressed because it's slow.
Yeah, but I mean, I've had people where it was just before lunch and the hygiene canceled or something, and so it was just us. So it's going to be quiet, but it's certainly just a lull before the storm.
Yeah, I guess just sensing the vibe that the dentist was putting off.
Yeah.
Stretched emotionally, stretched fiscally, financially. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, this is the kind of a problem you just need to consider just always everywhere. You just trust that they're ethical and
here's the thing though. So he says like I should go someplace busier because they don't need to oversell me. Could it be that that's why they're so busy?
Exactly.
Is that everybody needs something?
You don't know what they're. Yeah, because I've been in places where they're really, really busy, but they're busy because the fees are low and the profitability is not the same as someone next door. So as a consumer, you don't know what really is going on.
To local helicopter 7, busyness equals less likely to get overtreated. And that's obviously not that's obviously a huge fallacy.
Absolutely, because Aspen is known for just these grotesque, over huge treatment plans that are unnecessary, but they're busy. I've heard.
So I guess so. I've had patients complain that I'm too busy. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, he was only in he was only in for 3 minutes to do my exam or whatever, right? And he was like on to someplace else. Or it's hard to get an appointment. There's not any openings for a while. So I kind of feel damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right.
I get the same vibe from realtors. Do you know any realtors?
Yeah. Well, we recently sold our house a year ago.
Okay.
So yeah.
So every dumb person I went to high school with is a fucking realtor. And I don't know why it is, but like some of the dumbest people I know are realtors. Fucking dumb as bricks. There's just nothing there. There's nothing. And they're realtors. And they're successful realtors.
Yeah.
I know a realtor who it makes themselves out to be super successful. And then was coming to me and then switched because we weren't in network or whatever.
Okay.
But they drive a Maserati. And I know this person enough to like be like, what's up? Like now and like you drive a fucking Maserati. Like what do you care for in network or whatever? And then it's like, oh, like no, that thing is like that's like super leased. I can barely afford it, but in the realtor game, like if you don't pull up to the house in a super nice car, that's what lets the person who's your prospective client know that you have your shit together and that you're a good realtor. Like, is it really? Is it like answering your fucking emails and taking care of business? Like how, like I could give a fuck what you drive.
Well, and it goes both ways. I mean, Clint was talking about when he had his practice in Iowa, and it was well decorated. It looked nice, and it wasn't cold, white, sterile, basic. And he got comments a lot where people are like, "Oh, so this is why your fees are so high." And he's like, "Shit, I did a poll. My fees are actually average to low in the area." So patients have no idea what your fees are in comparison to other offices. But if you have a super nice office, they figure, oh, you're overcharging me to pay for the rent and the upgrades and everything like that. But then if you have a really shitty basic office, they think you're basic and you couldn't be worth it. You're just there for the bare minimum needs. You can't win.
No, you really can't. That's like, so I remember when I got the Tesla, I remember like, should I post this? Should I not post it? The reason I ended up deciding to post it was like, I literally put in the text, like, this is a used fucking car. Like, it's not that big of a deal. This is a used car. Yeah. But I still like, the idea of like a patient seeing me getting out of a Tesla and like walking into the office or whatever, like, I don't love it. App is a whole different story because of sort of what he does and whatnot. But like, if I had a car like that or any one of number of his cars, like I would cringe driving that to the office because I would hate for them to like ask the hygienist, like, oh, is that Dr. Austin's Ferrari down there? Like, right. I don't know. It feels rough to me. It's not something that I want. I feel that to me would make it seem like I was over treating the patient more so than if I pulled up in a fucking Mitsubishi, like puttering into the parking lot.
Right.
But I guess there's some people that'd be like, oh, he's got that shitty car. He needs to get a new one. He's going to try to sell me something.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way around it.
There's no win. Like, is it a like a base Lexus IS or something? Or like a super base BMW 3 Series? Right. Is that the middle ground? Yeah. Is that like the 7-iron laying up into the fairway?
Exactly.
It's nice, but it's not too nice.
Sure.
Like a 3-year-old base model 3 Series BMW, I think is the middle ground.
There you go. Guess what I drive?
Is it a base 3 Series?
2009 3 Series.
Nice. How many miles?
Like 150.
Wow. Those fucking Germans, man. Those fucking Germans. And you'll put another 150 on it.
That's the plan, yeah.
I'm looking at their post history. They post a lot in dentistry, man.
Really?
This motherfucker. I'm just going to start reading topics. Going to the dentist when business is bad. Can a tooth abscess heal for a while? Should you go to a dentist that is struggling for business right now? Is ozone legit in dentistry? How do you tell the difference between sensitivity and pain that means something is wrong? Go to dentist or orthodontist for Invisalign. How do you tell the difference between over-eruption and gum recession? Is a filling or inlay better long-term for the tooth? Is there any kind of filling or crown material that gums will adhere to? Will LED light therapy mess up resin fillings? Would fluoride still be necessary or useful if we didn't eat refined sugar or juice? Should you brush your teeth before breakfast or after? Why? That can't be the end. Overhangs at base of filling at gum line. Anterior teeth chipping / open posterior bite after Invisalign. What to do? Pinhole surgery ? Is pinhole surgery good? How to find someone that is good at it? What are the signs of a good or bad dentist? Can Invisalign do molar intrusion? Intrusion with Invisalign. This is all the same guy, Lance. Is it better to leave my dentist or start asking them to do things how I want it? All right, we got to hit this one right quick.
Oh, God. Really?
So I've gotten several class 5 fillings for abfractions. My dentist started doing them about 10 years ago, and it's been kind of disappointing. I wish I had done nothing. The fillings just make abfractions worse, harder to clean. They usually fall off in 2 to 3 years, so they seem like a really bad solution for a small cosmetic benefit I get from them. But after some research, I went to another dentist. They offered to try them with glass ionomer instead of resin and do it in a non-invasive way, not drilling the tooth at all. I figured it was worth trying, and I'm really pleased with the results. They seem like they will last much longer, and if they don't, I figure that's fine because they did not do any harm in the first place. Recently, one of my last resin fillings fell out. Should I ask my old dentist to try it the new way or just start going to the other one? I figure nobody likes being told how to do their job. You're exactly right.
Exactly right.
Or that work was less than satisfactory, and beginning in his 70s, I figure he's pretty set in his ways.
How about you get your bite looked at?
Yeah. Gold v resin, hypothetical, ? What's that about?
Tucker Gold versus just a composite?
I clicked on the wrong thing. Sorry.
It was a misclick.
Just reading about someone getting a white filling in their 20s. Say it was relatively small due to begin with. Gold is probably going to be more destructive to place in the short term, but might last for life. How many times could the white filling be replaced before it gets bigger than the gold filling? I don't know if that's easy. That's actually pretty, I think that's pretty sound thinking, right? That like you're going to have to prep, like to do a gold inlay, you're going to have to prep healthy tooth away. But how many times of a white colored filling, or how many times of a composite filling does it take to get to what you would do for the gold onlay? I don't know.
Same size.
Evidence for removing wisdom teeth. Options for super erupting tooth. Jesus, this is all one guy, Lance.
Wow, he needs to change his prescription.
What is a polite amount of time to cancel or reschedule an appointment? Do crowns hurt afterwards?
Yours will.
Tooth pain while sick. This is all in the last year. Is it normal for fillings to hurt just a smidge? Implants too? ? How long do gold fillings really last? What is the oldest gold inlay you have seen that is still in good shape? Gold or resin less invasive? ? How do I know that it's time to find a new dentist? What are some things to look for in a new one? Bleeding after replacing MO filling. Confused, is gold or porcelain better? 2 dentists at same time? I got to see this one.
2 dentists, 1 cup?
TLDR, my dentist doesn't do gold, so I'm thinking of going to someone who does. Should I permanently switch or keep going to my dentist for the stuff that gold doesn't work on? Asking for a recommendation. I've been seeing the same dentist for 10 years, and he seems pretty good. Fuck. But I still have some filling that are failing, and he's recommending porcelain-type replacements. As I understand it, still unclear if it's really better than porcelain/ceramic. Gold would be a healthier option for at least some of them, but he doesn't do gold. Should I just switch to a new dentist, go to a gold dentist for some stuff, and stick with the old dentist for some stuff? Should ask him to recommend a dentist that does gold, even though it means lost dollars to him. Thanks. Christ. Pinhole surgery experience suggestion. Gums tend to bleed directly under filling. Gums easily bleed near filling. DIY filling. All right, let's see this.
Whoa.
TLDR, I have some cervical notches. Any reason why I can't buy some glass ionomer and cover them myself? I have some of those upfraction, non-care cervical lesions. I made the mistake of having them filled, which looked great for a couple years, then at most, but then they fall off, blah, blah, blah. Now they're bigger because of the drilling. Who's prepping those?
Yeah.
Why are you prepping them? Even if you're doing resin, just roughen the surface, put a little bevel on the enamel, and place it. Like, why are you prepping?
Well, but a bevel, that's removing tooth structure. It's perfectly sound and healthy.
Except it's a fucking bevel, man.
Yeah, I know.
Been reading about how glass ionomer will stick without the drilling or the light curing, and I'd like to... Good luck fucking isolating your own fucking class 5
Yeah.
for a chemical cure glass ionomer.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And are you sure there's no caries there?
What over under? How many days does that shit last if he tries to do it? How many times brushing?
I could see it being grossly overhanging, and
sure,
it's still there, but now his gums are bleeding like hell because it's not polished.
Biomimetic cracked tooth repair. Implants instead of filling, crown, root canals. Tooth cracking caused by filling or decanter filling. Crown questions. Redo filling or crown. Class V drilling, no retention. How quickly does sclerotic dentin deteriorate? Pros and cons of gold versus porcelain inlays. An amalgam stains unhealthy or just bad looking? Why isn't glass ionomer used more? Filling inlay instead of crown? Biomimetic dentistry, ? What is the best kind of crown? Those are all one guy within 1 year. I'm a dentist and I've never had that many questions about dentistry.
No.
The fuck is this guy's deal? What is going on here?
He's got to be on the spectrum.
I think this is an insult to people on the spectrum, Lance.
It might actually, yeah.
This guy is just a massive pain in the ass piece of shit.
Yeah, he'd be probably someone I'd probably find a way to get rid of in my practice.
Absolutely. What's your PITA fee on this guy?
Times 5.
You think 5x?
Actually, it honestly probably does double.
We need a spectrum. Like I need like a slide rule. You know, like one of those like wheels that you turn. Yeah. It's like that like can figure out how many X's to add up. It's like it's just the PITA wheel. It's the PITA wheel, and I know that sounds like a fucking Mediterranean fast food restaurant. The PITA wheel.
Give me some hummus. Yeah.
But it's just like, oh, you asked 3 questions about should I go to another dentist to get gold? Okay. And you dial that into the wheel and it says like, oh, 2.5x. Okay, cool. Like, and it just, maybe we can make it to where it's like Bluetooth compatible so it automatically communicates with Open Dental to change.
Or even like the Magic 8-Ball kind of thing where you just kind of shake it and you just randomly get something.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too. That's as scientific as the PITA wheel.
Yeah. But what I tend to do, because I am more skeptical or scared of getting the bad Yelp reviews and whatnot. So what I try to do is not necessarily jack the fee, but make you're paying in advance non-refundable kind of a thing. So even if I get the bad Yelp review, it's just that my policies on
your fiscal
the money,
policies. My
fiscal policy is front loaded or whatever, because I think that would just make the reputation out there of how only a successful dentist would do that, and so it'll weed out the people that are like this guy. Oh, hey, I did get a winning combination on a bad Yelp review or a Google review this week.
What? Tell me.
So I get a 1-star review, and I'm looking, and it says I paid this guy and for services he never delivered. And I had to look him up. I actually was on the weekend, so I swung by the office because I was nearby and looked him up. And I'm like, I don't even know who the hell this person is. But then as I was looking at it, long story short, he had paid for like ortho retainer, like some retainers from Invisalign. Someone else had done the Invisalign. I was supposed to do a retainer. Somehow, I don't know what the hell fucked up, but 5 years ago, he left. So I responded on Google just saying, hey, you're right. I looked, see that there was a balance 5 years ago that please contact the office. I'm sorry it took social media to hear about this. And so he called, we sent him a check, and he just deleted his comments and changed the 1 to a 5.
Sweet.
So I'm like, all right.
Nice.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, I'll take that any day of the week. That's easy.
Fuck yeah.
That is easy.
I'm still kind of embarrassed that he actually was in that position.
Well, like what shit. Fucking... This was 5 years ago. Like, what...
I know.
What happened to make him remember this? I don't know.
That was the other thing I was kind of curious. Like, out of the blue, 5 years later...
That's the weird thing. And does he think that you're just, like, maniacally laughing every day? You pulled one over on him for $170 or whatever the fuck it was? Like you're living on this windfall. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's $100, dude. Chill the fuck out. Like, this isn't... putting my daughter through college, the $165 Holly retainer that you paid for 3 years ago. Like,
exactly. Yeah. So anyway,
I did not expect to run into that kind of post history.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition,
which is what that's this fucking Spanish Inquisition of the dental subreddit that this guy has done.
That's right.
We're out of time. We can't do the last question, which is the question that I saved from last week to do this week. So we'll do it next week. We'll lead with this one next week. But I had to get to the DIY braces because, like, the day before that question came in, I had mentioned DIY braces, like in the, what's the greatest whatever, Gordon Christensen cannot answer deal. And then that came in. So I thought that was kind of weird. Serendipity. So
that's the word.
That is the word. It's also a restaurant in New York that has chili dogs and frozen hot chocolate.
Love it.
And it was a good movie with John Cusack.
He was cute. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed that
Cusack
movie.
I did too. Cusack always entertains me. So
until lately, he's weird. He fell out.
I like weird.
But there's weird and there's posting 500 questions to the dental subreddit weird, and he's kind of like that. He's headed down that way.
He could be, yeah.
So that actually might be John Cusack, the guy that was posting all those questions.
Okay. It is till you prove me wrong.
I'm just picturing him holding an iPad over his head. That's one thing. Like, if you say anything to your daughters, they're just like, "What the fuck is he doing outside of that girl's window? What is that thing?"
No, actually, they're big fans. We made them watch it years ago.
Okay, so you had to explain, like, that's a boombox. That's like actually how we used to, like, listen to music.
Yeah, I did. I can't remember if I prefaced it or if they were able to do the math themselves.
Yeah,
but they get it.
You couldn't just send somebody an iMessage, a fucking Apple Music song. You had to stand outside their window holding up a fucking boombox.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that boombox, like, took D batteries.
Oh yeah.
So that probably cost him like $27 in D batteries to play that Peter Gabriel song outside of her window.
Yeah.
And those things, like that thing had to have been, I don't know, 12, 13 pounds.
Easily.
You try to hold something like that heavy above your head for like minutes. Like how Peter Gabriel song's like 6 minutes long.
Yeah. I had one that was something about like that. It was heavy as fuck.
Super heavy. That's like
Super
durable
heavy.
goods. Like you would get a stereo, like a boombox stereo like that. Like that was your stereo. You get it when you're 13 or 14, 12 years old, somewhere in there. And that was like your stereo till like, you like took that shit to college.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
These weren't like getting a new phone every year. Like you didn't get a new stereo equipment. Like that's the shit that you had. That was it. Like if you got a fucking Sanyo that weighed 18 pounds, like you're gonna have that shit until like you left home and had the money to buy one on your own.
Pretty much.
Wild. So the world is so fucking different now. It's unreal.
Wild
It's
and
unreal.
wacky stuff.
Have you ever talked to your kids about recording a song off the radio?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did explain that we had to, call in a request and then sit there, listen for the next hour, hoping that they would finally play it, and then go.
So, God, it was just a waste of fucking time.
Yeah.
These kids are so goddamn lucky.
Uh-huh.
It's just,
If you wanted to learn anything about the band, you had to buy a fanzine or something. And
yeah, you had to read the liner
read it.
notes.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Goddamn. And sometimes the liner notes wouldn't have lyrics. And so you just never know what the song said. I remember the Snow song. You remember Informer? You don't remember Informer? I lick you boom boom da. You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So it was all going
I do.
so fast, they didn't put liner notes in there. And so no one knew what the words were. And then in the video, they subtitled it. But it went so fast, you'd have to tape the video off MTV and pause it like every second. But like it wasn't digital. Like VHSs don't really do that.
Yeah.
And so like you could only really get like half of the lyrics. And so it's 35 years later, I still have no fucking clue what that song said. But you know what I do remember? Do you remember the title of that album, Lance?
I do not.
So it was 12 Inches of Snow. Fucking good. So
all right.
good. Hit us with a rating. If you remember taping songs off the radio, or if you have any friends that do, share this with them. That's how we grow the show, one new listener at a time. Rate the show, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, if you're flicking through Podbean. Lance, what's your favorite number?
I'm a big fan of 5.
That's the number of Super Bowl rings that Tom Brady has on his left foot.
Yeah.
So that's the number we want you to flick Podbean, flick 5 stars. Hit us up on the web, workinginterferences.com. All the social bullshit's Facebook, Working Interferences with Josh and Lance. Funny shit for dentists and dental team members. Instagram at Winterferences. Lance can be found on Instagram at DMD. I can be found on Instagram at Joshua Austin DDS. Mash that follow button. Is your song either Peter Gabriel or Snow?
It's not.
Okay,
Funny
good.
enough. No, I don't know if I'm unique this way, but I enjoy if I go someplace specific, if there's music that goes along with it, I like to play it while I'm there. So a couple years ago, I was in the Joshua Tree National Park, so we played U2's Joshua Tree.
And the storm blows up in her eyes. She will suffer the needle chill. She's running to stand still.
Yeah,
A couple weeks ago, we were at the Hoover Dam, so I played Sugar, Hoover Dam. And so last week I was in LA and I had time to kill, and so I played the song Ventura Highway by America as I drove the Ventura Highway to Ventura. So my song this week is actually a remix of America doing Ventura Highway.
Nice. And how was that drive?
It was fine. It's kind of a pretty little drive. I'd never been to Ventura before. It's a cute little town. I could see myself living there. So it was fun.
Good.
I was there for all of 5 minutes and turned around and said, okay, let's go back. Kind of like me at Mount Rushmore. Hey, there it is. Let's go home.
Well, I mean, to be fair, who hasn't driven across the country to take one look at Ventura, California, and then turn around and drive back?
Yeah, I mean,
it's every family's dream. Is there anything famous in Ventura?
Not that I saw.
Is it just like an In-N-Out burger?
I think there was one there. There was it looked like a nice fish and chips joint right on the beach.
Oh, I'm sure they make the best British food in Ventura, California.
Gotta be.
What is Ventura, California known for? Ventura is known for its thriving cultural scene, award-winning National Blue Ribbon California Distinguished Schools, and engaged citizens who actively participate in improving its community. There you go.
Huh.
Does that make you want to live there less?
Yeah. That's fine.
You're like, fuck it, I'm out. I'm going to Downey. Those people don't give a fuck.
I'm a big fan of Whittier.
I don't know Whittier. Is that like
That's
just
by Downey.
Is that the Valier?
Nah, it's by Downey. It's
okay.
Nothing.
The only reason I know Downey is because Datola's from Downey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Whittier is. That's just the fucking Inland Empire, man. Yeah. Whittier is more inland than Downey. Which is rough. It's in the Fullerton area, Hacienda Heights, City of Industry. Yeah. Whittier doesn't sound great. What's weird though is Pasadena's pretty inland and it's nice.
Yeah.
So Pasadena's kind of like this little. I guess it butts up against the mountains.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like Altadena, San Dimas, they're all nice.
Yeah. I'm looking at Pomona, and I remember there was a Simpsons joke one time where they were doing a spoof of that show Orange County. Do you remember that? The OC? Or no, it was the OC is what they called it. And it's like, the new show from the creators of the OC, Pomona. It's even hotter away from the beach, which I always just thought was really funny. So I'm looking at Pomona on here, like over here by Whittier. And I'm like, oh, yeah. It must be like shithole valley areas. Wow. Great. Just move to Santa Barbara and be done with it. That just seems like a very Lance move. There's wine there. It seems like the place.
There's a good chance.
Seems like the place for Lance. Well, enjoy this song about Ventura or Compton. What was it? I don't remember.
Yeah. East LA.
For Lance Timmerman, I'm Josh Austin. Peace. Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Ventura Highway in the sunshine, where the days are longer, the nights are stronger than moonshine. You're gonna go, I know. Sorry boy, but I've been hit by a bird. 'cause the free wind is blowing through your hair.